As was noted in previous audiences, Jesus' life is an organic whole. All the moments are intertwined. It should not be surprising, since he is God, who is not limited by time and space. In describing this next portion of the Roman Canon, called the Institution Narrative, we must focus on the whole of Jesus' greatest moment of love, his total self-gift by his death on the cross. Jesus' self-gift is not confined simply to that moment, but indeed his whole life, and especially those events leading up to his death. It was the time of the Passover, the Jewish feast that made present and real the past event of the freedom of the Hebrew people from Egypt. Jesus eagerly desired to celebrate the Passover with his disciples, for he wished to insert himself within this great feast, to transform it, to bring about an even greater freedom, freedom from sin and eternal death. In the Institution Narrative, the priest, obeying the command of Jesus to do this in memory of me, follows the words and actions of Jesus himself on that holy night of the Last Supper. On the day before he was to suffer, he took bread in his holy and venerable hands, and with eyes raised to heaven, to you, O God, his almighty Father, giving you thanks, he said the blessing, broke the bread, and gave it to his disciples, saying. And then the priest speaks the words of Jesus, speaking in persona Christi Capitis, in the person of Christ the head of the body, the church. Take this, all of you, and eat of it, for this is my body, which will be given up for you. The priest speaks these words over the bread, and since they are the very words of Jesus himself, as he asked us to do, they are not empty, but full of power. They accomplish what Jesus intends them to do. The priest raises the host, which is no longer bread, but Jesus Christ, as real and incarnate as when he walked with his disciples in Palestine 2,000 years ago. Bells are often rung as the priest shows the people the Blessed Sacrament, so they may adore him. Perhaps 3 rings are used as if to say, Holy, holy, holy. It is the presence of the thrice holy God made incarnate. Placing Christ back on the altar, the priest genuflects in silent adoration of the Eucharist. The same occurs with the chalice. In a similar way, when supper was ended, he took this precious chalice in his holy and venerable hands, and once more giving you thanks, he said the blessing, and gave the chalice to his disciples, saying, Take this, all of you, and drink from it, for this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which will be poured out for you and for many, for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me. No longer wine, the precious blood of our Lord is adored. This is what happens. It is connected to the words and actions of Jesus at the Last Supper. We must pause to understand it, to discover what richness of the mystery of Christ we are beholding.